Of course, that game's still to come, the mixed opens. But first, we've got the men's opens. Homebush up against St George. And the siren sounds. We're underway in the 2018 State Cup Men's Opens Grand Final. It's St George kicking off. And they've found touch off the kickoff. It's just short of the 10-metre line. It'll be Homebush to get us started in this one. So, Homebush it is. And it's Surya Kumar who takes the first tag for the Homebush men's side. Here it is now with Eddie Elkek it was. Here they go, Homebush now. Highly fancied team. Early kick, chasers coming through as well. No one at home for St George. And they were going for a 50-10, but just came up short, but not a bad tactic early on.
No, it's great. I love that play. He came from the open side, back around the short side, and, you know, that ball bounced about 20 centimetres out from the marker, and it would have been a repeat set if he'd got it, you know, a fraction more perfect, but it's still good enough.
So St George with it now. As we see the number 23, and that is Anthony Halikas. And here's Keith Brennan. St George shaping the early kick there. It didn't. That was Thomas Coggan. Expect a big game from him if St George are to get the chocolates here today. Thomas Coggan, there's a good kick, but fielded up to the task there was Yusuf Ibrahim for Homebush. Comes out the way now of Surya Kumar. Got plenty of speed to burn. Sivasaran Surya Kumar, that is. Now it's with Ibrahim again for Homebush. And here they go again. Homebush looking menacing. This time it was Ehab El Sadek. And that was Mohammed Tamer. So Tamer plays it. It was Ayman Anaut at dummy half, and then eventually the kick came in. This could be a 50-10, Ross Thomas. Let's see what the referee says.
Yeah, 100%. Gee, some of these boys kick the ball sweetly. You know, it's coming off the foot beautifully. We've seen three great kicks, really, and the kickoff nearly got some returns for St George as well. It's like James Bond sort of slipping through there to, you know, carve out some great territory. It's a great game so far, and the speed of the play is fantastic.
Certainly is. There's Anaut who plays it now. It's with Tamar. Short pass and through. There's Nathaniel Chu Lee. And Chu Lee has scored the opener for Homebush. Chu Lee's got it. Homebush lead 1-0, much to the crowd's delight.
What a great play. You know, there was runners in motion there, and it was a beautiful, what we call an unders run. He started straight, ducked into the hole, and beautiful ball there. That's a beautifully worked try.
So Homebush with the first try of this Men's Opens Grand Final. Arguably one of the quickest in Oztag, this Homebush side. They have an abundance of speed in their lineup. There's Tony Elazi, I should say. And still going here, Homebush, as they look to spread it wide. He played here by Mohammed El Haj. Back the way now of Elkek. Little kick ahead by Yusuf Ibrahim. And it's fielded there by Eddie Elkek.
I think he's called him in front of the kicker there, Drury. But again, smart play. Like, he's put the little kick in and the referee's called the runner in front of him. But again, we saw some dancing on the 5-cent piece again there just then. It's outstanding, and they're getting back and playing the ball quickly, and it's hard to defend.
Here it is now with Tyler Scotton for St George. Trailing 1-0. Did he get the offload away? Referee says play on. And here it is with Nathan Lee. He's a real live wire. And now Jacob Pope. So St George down by one early. Nice inside pass there to Jordan Natoli. Kick ahead by Natoli. A little bit of a push there. And penalty to Homebush.
Yeah, I think you said the Homebush boys have...
no, penalty to St George.
Yeah, pushed the St George runner off the ball as he was chasing through. And there was a push by St George, but the first infringement.
So there you go, St George now with a great opportunity to level. And that was Lee. No, it was the number 15, rather. And St George now still with it. Did well to hang on to the footy there. So the ball comes out towards Jordan Natoli. And it's a loose ball, and Homebush are away down the sideline. It's Ibrahim, Yusuf Ibrahim. He's put the ears back, chasing there the St George defenders. Oh, what a tag. He came from the clouds. Anthony Lavonis.
That was a great chase.
Still with it, Homebush. Still with it. They go wide. And they roll in the corner. Herculean Sivasaran Suryakumar.
Wow, that was a Herculean event.
What a try to Homebush. Suryakumar in the corner. That is the try of the tournament.
I thought there was Nene McDonald out there soaring over the corner post and planting it down inside. What a great play. Little kick. The winger gets down the sideline and then they swing it wide. Great try.
Well, it all started with Yusuf Ibrahim. Let's have a look at the replay thanks to Save Our Sons. There was Anthony Lavonis who came from nowhere to make the tag, and they shifted wide. Majid Hamoud with the ball on the outside, and there he is, Sivasaran Suryakumar, dishing it up there in the corner. And as Ross Thomas said, that was Nene McDonald-esque.
What a finish. Is this sweep again?
Wonderful play. And let's not discount the ball there from Majid Hamoud, because wonderful cutout pass by him. Here it is now with Mario Nicholas. And what about the tag from Anthony Lavonis? It had everything.
Outstanding. He came from the open side wing. He had no right to be there, but he made the effort.
Hold the phone, Ross. A huge show and go there by El Sadiq. And they're in again, Homebush. Oh, it's showtime.
It is. They are starting to carve them up, aren't they? They're really getting into their stride. And you know what's happening too? St George are repeating, defending, repeat, defend. Now they've got another try. They're burning up a lot of energy here in this last 5 minutes, the Saints.
Well, they are on fire the way they've started in this game at Homebush. And certainly Western Sydney would be up about at the moment.
They know how to celebrate too.
Oh, don't they? Don't they just? So we'll see now. It's with Eddie Elkek. And did well to juggle that and catch it. Yes, no, they certainly do know how to celebrate. And an early kick coming down the way of Brendan Camara. And St George now with it all to do. Here it is with Pope.
I think he's called a player offside there, Drury, and there might have been a bit of chat because he's advanced the mark.
Yes, well, there must have been, and that's improved the position for St George. So St George on the attack. What do they need to do here, Ross?
Yeah, look, I think they've got a chance there. Armour, they opened them up a couple of times with changes of angles. So I think they change the angle and keep going at the line. I think they can get a try. I don't think they're out of it yet. There's still a long way to go.
As we see a little kick ahead here and retrieved there by Homebush on this occasion. We should point out the referee for this one, Tony Mumford. So Tony Mumford is the man in control out there. He's got the sweatband on the right wrist and sporting the white cap, and got a couple of bit of tape on the back of the calves as well. Let's hope he's doing okay out there. Here it is with Homebush, and Eddie Elkek plays it, and there's the kick, and St George back there to take it. Now you're a Kiama man, Ross Thomas. We know you love it down there, of course, in the Illawarra region. Any loyalty to St George? I mean, it's certainly, it's got that Illawarra connection.
Yeah, born and bred in Kingsgrove, Drury.
Well, there you go.
Very much a strong connection to St George, and living down in the Illawarra, I've got the best of both worlds.
All right,
with
Ross,
the amalgamation.
we'll come back to the life of Ross Thomas because we've got a little chip and regather there, which was nicely done. And St George now looking for their first points. Thomas Coggan getting involved. They'll need him to have an influence on the game if they're to come back in this game. But Homebush come away with it again, this time Eamon Arnott.
So what you got at the moment, the Saints boys are trying to solve it all individually. There's been 3 individual kicks there instead of sticking to a team game and not chasing the scoreboard and trying to have one player solve it all. They've turned it over 3 times with those 3 individual kicks, and Homebush are just lapping this up with the more possession.
Spoken like a true coach there, Ross Thomas. We'll definitely get your thoughts at the main break. We'll stay with the play for now, and Homebush again. They've got some numbers wide inside their pass. They're still going, and that's Mario Nicholas, and he's planted the ball down, and Homebush have their 4th. Mario Nicholas, lovely inside manoeuvre to find the try line.
It was. That was a great attacking play, but it gets back to what I was saying before. St George don't try and solve it as individuals. They're probably still attacking the line a bit down here, and if worst case scenario, Homebush get it coming off their line, they don't get in that position to do that play, but they milked it really well.
Oh, here's a great kick-off, and they've done well, St George. That was really hard to contain. And Homebush player getting involved there, but he would have been offside. Wonderful work there from St George. So they need a try here before the break. There is no question about that. This is their opportunity. Jordan Natoli to play it. Referee Mumford blows a penalty in the way of St George. It was number 10, Aikin Konak. Konak was just a little bit too close for Mumford's liking there. St George now spread it wide. And here it is now with Keith Brennan, who gets it away to Lee. And that was Nathan Lee. Brennan. On to Luke Swanbury. Little kick ahead. Swanbury tried to regather. Penalty, St George. And not wanting to give the ball back straight away, Homebush. And St George will just slow it down momentarily. Just under 3.5 to go here in the first half. And there it is with Keith Brennan. And here's Luke Swanbury. Short pass, looking for Lee. Knock on. And Homebush good enough to defend that one.
Yeah, so it's coming out for a tap, and they'll get a seven tackle set here, Homebush boys. At least they threatened the line a little bit more then, and there was a little kick, but it was on about the 4th or 5th. It was late in the tackle count, and it nearly sat up, and I think they got a penalty for late tag. So a bit better set there from St George. Just need a few more angle runners, I think.
There he is, Ross Thomas, of course. Runs the Kiama Oztag competition. Australian women's coach. And originally born in Kingsgrove.
Yeah.
Now St George now on the attack. Jordan Natoli. Short pass there. There's Pope again. Swanbury. Away now back to Brennan. There's Lee. You get the feeling if Lee was in open space, he'd be hard to catch, don't you?
100%. Be like Usain Bolt, I think. So they're a bit straight at the moment. They just got to change the attack around. Even if they inside pass, outside pass, just get angle runners to break the Homebush boys up. They're good defenders.
And here's Lee again, got the pass away. And just running out of room there, St George. And Homebush again, well, they're certainly playing the game where they need to, St George, but they don't need to panic in this situation, do they, Ross Thomas?
No, not at all. And they were patient there. They didn't try and solve it individually. They just had a go, but it was a bit straight, and straight's good coming off your line, but once you get down the attacking end against good defences, you've got to stretch them laterally, and they just got to change the angle a bit more.
Well, we've got a mistake here from Isaac Anus. He's kicked it way over referee Mumford's shoulders, and they'll get another opportunity here, St George. So perhaps they'll have the final say here in the half if they can work it towards an attack on the try line, the final couple of tackles or tags rather in this set. Huge chance. You get the feeling they have to score here, St George, just to give them something going to the break. Here it comes the way of Anthony Halikas. Now it's Coggan who's back on. Fresh legs. Back to Halikas. St George, bodies in motion. Halikas again, still going, steps off the left, Halikas. Tag there, Jacob Pope at dummy half. Long pass, St George. That was touched by Homebush. The pass from James Pilkington. It should be 6 more. What's Mumford saying? Here he is saying yes. So James Pilkington again. Do you smell a try here, Ross?
Well, I hope so for the game's sake and for St George, just to give him a bit of confidence. There was one time there where Halikas was coming over. He had 2 runners near the sideline. One of them should have got inside him.
Here they go, St George. Now, was that touched by Homebush? Did St George have control? What do you reckon here, Ross?
Yeah, 50-50. I'm happy to go with the ref. He's closer than we are. So, yeah, he might have knocked it forward, but, yeah, he's ruled Homebush from taking it out.
So St George with another opportunity. There's only seconds remaining. They might only have 2 or 3 tags here. There's the siren. This will be the last play, St George. And they've just run out of room there. Knock on. And referees blowing the whistle. And good to see number 33 come over to make sure that he's okay. Mohammed El Haj just had the body there in the way. It was a hard knock there for Pope. That's half time here in the men's Opens ones. Final Homebush and St George. It's Homebush leading 4 tries to St George, yet to score. And Ross Thomas, you're a coach, plenty of Oztag experience. If you were the St George coach here, heading into the final 15 minutes, what would you be saying at halftime?
It's tough. It's very tough. I wouldn't be telling the players though that. But I do think that they've got to just they've got to sort of out-energise them a little bit. They've got to out-energise them in defence and attack, as we see a few highlights from the first half, I think.
Yeah, that was the try to Nathaniel Chu-Lee. And we're going to see an absolute humdinger here from the subcontinental superstar in Sivasaran Suryakumar. Here he goes. This was Superman-like in the corner. Ross Thomas, have you ever seen anything better than that?
Brilliant finish. Don't some of our wingers in all, league and Oztag, they finish beautifully now. I used to think sometimes wingers were guys that hung around footy players, but not anymore. They're the stars of the show.
Now, what would you be saying if you're the Homebush coach?
Yeah, the Homebush guys, I'm just trying to pull their heads in a little bit and play smart. I think they're going for 3 or 4, and we're driving into the corner and have St George coming off their line all the time. That's your game plan at 4-0 up. But you know what? These young boys are so good at passing and stepping in that. I don't think they'll listen too much to the coach. I think they'll be trying to score a try, from halfway every time they get it.
Well, it'll be interesting. You can see Homebush have gathered right on halfway on the field, as opposed to the traditional sideline areas for players and coaching staff. And St George there, it looks like a little bit more of a solemn huddle there as they put their hands in. 15 minutes ahead of both sides here awaits who will be crowned Men's Opens 2018 New South Wales State Cup champions. We'll find out in the next 15 minutes, Ross Thomas. The question is, how excited are you?
I'm very excited. I'm like Big Kev from many years ago that used to be on the ads. I'm excited.
Well, there you go. Yes, that is a blast from the past. They're still running those down in Illawarra.
I think Big Kev got so very excited that he's perhaps moved on from this earth, I think.
There you go. We're back underway. It's St George now. They trail 4-0 and need to be the first to score in this second half. Played by Jordan Natoli. And this is a good set coming out with plenty of energy here. St George, here they go. And that was the number 9 in Pilkington. Sorry, it was actually Matthew Quirk. Here it is now with Aaron Quirk. Back the way of Matthew Quirk. Steps off the left. Still going, Matthew Quirk. Matthew Gorman now. Coggan. The way now of the number 13, Jordan Natali. Quick play, the ball. Chance for St George! And they're over the try line, and they're on the scoreboard. And that is exactly what the St George side needed to keep themselves in this ball game.
What a start. And based on high energy, the first 3 plays upfield were just great running, quick play the balls. They got a repeat set down there from a penalty, I think it was. They had a tap, and yeah, that's the start that they needed for sure. Gives you a bit of confidence.
Yeah, wonderful start to the second half. So 4-1 now, St George. They got the try they needed just to give them a little bit of confidence and to stay in touch with Homebush. This electrifying Homebush outfit. Speaking of electrifying, here's Lee that takes it back. St George now, played by Luke Swanbury. Lee. Now it comes the way of Keith Brennan. Drury Forbes in commentary alongside Illawarra and Kingsgrove's finest, Ross Thomas. There it is with Aaron Quirk. Matthew Gorman's on, and Gorman takes the quick tap. Penalty St George. Referee Mumford says, just hold your horses, Gorman. Now he goes again. And Gorman tagged. Swanbury. Lovely linking up play there, and Jacob Pope thought all his Christmases had come at once then. Ordered to take it back. St George, though, through Anthony Halikas. Still providing a few headaches for Homebush. They've had a lot of ball in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Can they get another one? Gorman on the inside. And the ball went to ground. And it'll still be St George ball, however, with a couple of tags up their sleeve. So some tags remaining, and here they go again, St George, and they're over. They've scored back-to-back tries, and they're well and truly in this game of Oztag. Anthony Halikas. And it's a 4-2 Men's Opens 2018 New South Wales State Cup Grand Final. Game on.
This is what we want, isn't it? You know, high energy play and a couple of changes of angle now are starting to get the Saints back into it. So 4-2. Doesn't the momentum of a game change quickly, Drury? You know, it was 4-0 at half time, and within about 2-3 minutes, we're back to 4-2 and game on for sure.
It certainly is. So. Oh, no, this is touched here by St George. They did well to keep that in. And
did brilliantly. That was another momentum changer there, but he held on to it.
They certainly did. Sloppy play the ball, though. Referee Mumford says turnover. So, there it is. The error came, and Homebush will be delighted to get a bit of footy at this end of the footy field. Ross Thomas, what do you reckon?
Yeah, wouldn't the Saints have loved to have kept that speed to play the ball going and that, but here's a chance. Good D.
Yes, it was Akin Konak. And there it is, Tony Alatsi getting it away, and pass there from Majed Hamoud. Played there by Ihab El Sadiq. And then the pass there from Akin Konak was not taken. And that'll be St George ball.
They were outnumbered on that side, the Saints. It was the right way to go for Homebush, and it just had to stick, and it would have been 5-2. But again, that's good energy. See, their play the balls are so much quicker this half, the Saints.
Yep, they've got a lot of energy. Well, there's no tomorrow for these two sides, Ross. This is the grand final. This is why we play Oztag at this level, for moments like this, as you would know.
That's true. It is. It's a great thrill being out there with your mates. You know, it doesn't matter what age you are. And that's why us wild blokes love it. Here's a chance.
Chance here for St George. The first try scorer with it. And what have we got here?
It's a changeover for the sixth play, I think. But that's okay. You know, 10 metres out, they had good energy in that set as well.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, Ross. You said Homebush don't traditionally like playing the percentages game management type of style of game. And it's fair to say that they're probably just a little rattled at the moment, but they won't go into their shell, will they?
No, they won't. But they should. They should just be going one forward, quick play the ball and drive it into a corner now. I'd be going to the middle and hitting back to the other way, because they've got a sweeper back here, the Saints. They've actually got two people back at fullback now, really.
So here's the kick here from Majed Hamoud. And that one will go out of bounds. So perhaps somebody heard your comments, Ross, and got a message to Majed there with that kick.
That's a great kick by Majed. It's like a metre from being a 40-10. It just slows the game down a bit when the Saints have got some momentum. Yeah, that's a great kick. Coach would be very happy with that.
Should point out Ross Thomas, of course, coaching at Australian level, has been a big part of the women's game of Oztag in this country. Originally a Kingsgrove product. Here's St George with it. And the kick now by Anthony Halikas. Looking for the 50-10. It's just going to go dead there by Halikas. He too a try scorer here, but 7.5 to play. Plenty of time, and St George, they've put themselves in a position close enough if good enough.
Yeah, and I don't mind that kick. Like, he's only missed it by 1.5 metres from the corner post. it wasn't an individual play. That was a team play to try and get the 40-10 and get possession back. It wasn't a little kick at halfway where if he loses it, it's great position for Homebush. That was a good team thinking kick, that one, and he only just missed it.
Here's Eamon Arnott. Homebush now early kick, ricocheting footy, and, well, he was reluctant to pick it up there, Cockin. Perhaps he thought he was offside and may have been, so Homebush have 6 more. And here's the ball here from Majed Hamoud, and it was just knocked on there by Isaac Anous for the Homebush side, but we'll come back, and St George now quick to play it into Homebush territory.
They got some momentum, haven't they, the Saints? Oh, there's a bit of contact there. I think that's a penalty to St George. So another repeat set in an attacking position.
So St George now just happy to slow it down. They trail 4-2. Just over 6 minutes remaining, so still plenty of time. Here it is with Halicast to Lee. Shows it, then passes. And the tag was off, otherwise Gorman was in the corner. A much improved second half by St George. They've had a lot of footy. Here's Coggan who plays it. Lee. St George now short. Oh boy, intercepted! Intercepted and Homebush are away. It's a foot race. Here comes Lee. Will he be able to catch him? Slowing down and doing well there was El Haj. Got it away to Mohammed Tamer. Gorman's claiming the tag. It's all happening at CX. And referee Mumford says...
Linesman's flag's up. He's gone into touch.
He's out of bounds.
What a play, though. That deserved a try. You know what? That was almost a 2-try turnaround. The Saints fronter was into the hole. Homebush nearly scored. Very exciting stuff, Drury.
It certainly was. It was Mohammed El Haj with the break, and you could see the St George players swarming, led by Lee. And then Mohammed Tamer did well to back up as well. Just couldn't stay in the field of play. And it's kept St George in this grand final. As you say, a kick ahead there by Matthew Quirk. Kick ahead again by Quirk. Regather. Oh, tagged. In fact, it was Luke Swanbury. My apologies. But that was Brett Mullins-like. Still alive here, St George. They come to the left. They've got some numbers. Through the hands, Lee is lurking. They may not need him. It was Aaron Quirk. The tag came off. St George still attacking. They come. Oh, intercepted again. And they're away. It's not El Haj again, is it? Pinsey is back. It's Eddie El Keck, and he passes back inside to a St George player. And, well, I'll tell you what, Jordan Natoli has not only saved the day, he's intercepted the ball to prevent the try back on the inside as well.
It's the most amazing 1.5 minutes of Oztag I've ever seen, and it's still going on. Here's Homebush again.
Yes, Sivasaran Surya Kumar, he's back on.
Your favourite player.
And here they go again through the hands. Draw and pass. And looks like he's been tagged. So Homebush now, we've seen 2 interceptions and some try-saving defence from St George. And, oh, well, he sold some candy there. Nathaniel Chu Lee. And he has scored. There was about 2 or 3 dummies there. And Chu Lee with the try. And, well, that is huge. 5-2 Homebush lead.
More dummies than a chemist shop there from Nathaniel, wasn't it? But he did well. He was trying to get it to a player in a better position, but couldn't hang on. Did another one. Bang. They overread it a little bit, the Saints defenders. But that 1.5 minutes of scrambling and the St George player that covered it. Here we go again, the Homebush boys.
Yeah, they're away again. Mohammed El Haj. No, it's Isaac Anous. So Homebush again providing plenty of entertainment here at Coffs Harbour. Here's Akin Konak, a kick and chase by Konak. And St George are back here. Let's have a look at the replay of that try. The Save Our Sons replay to take Homebush to 5-2. As we have a look, El Sadiq just holding it up. Eventually it comes the way of Nathaniel Chu Lee. And here we go, one dummy, turn, back inside. More variety in the Kingsgrove Sports Centre, and he scores a great try for Homebush to take it out to a 5-2 lead.
There's a lot of variety in the cricket bats at the Sports Centre, I tell you, and all the gloves and all the accessories. But I'm loving the way St George has really had a dig in this second half at 4-0 down. Their energy's great, and The early intercept from that 3-minute scramble ago, a few minutes ago when it was going backwards and forward, they could have got a try and been at 4-3 now. So, yeah, it's been great by the Saints in the second half.
Certainly has. Here's Chuli with another kick ahead. Chuli regathers. It's hat-trick time. Nathaniel Chuli. He's over. Hoo-hee. It's Chuli.
How do you do that? What a run at the line, and how do you drop it on the foot so quickly? These young blokes have got great skills, and I'm glad you're pronouncing all the names, Drury, because I would have it very tough at that speed you're doing it at, but that's great skill.
It certainly is. Nathaniel Chuli. And he's scored 3 tries now for Homebush. 6-2 the score. 1 3/4 minutes remaining. Well, they certainly didn't go into their shell. They didn't want to play the game management type of game, did they, Homebush? They just wanted to score more spectacular tries.
Although going back to 4-2, and even here now when they're 3 up, at 4-2 they did put in the good kick just outside the 10-metre line that got them in good field position. And then on the back of that, I think, there's that to and fro for 2 minutes or so. And then they got the try. So they were trying to get field position, but it's exciting stuff.
It certainly is.
Oh, bit of contact there.
Yeah, penalty St George. Matthew Gorman with a kick ahead. Gorman regathers. He's still going. Tagged, though, by Surya Kumar. That would have been a foot race to behold.
Would have been
George.
Great. And at this stage of the match, a minute ago, you can't blame him for trying to solve it on his own, with the little kick, and it nearly came off.
Here they go here through Luke Swambury. And then tagged there was Halikas. Swambury again. Less than a minute remaining here in the Men's Opens final. Here's with Matthew Quirk. St George, little kick ahead. Came off a Homebush player. And referee says, well, we've got a turnover, not played at.
Yeah, I think he's ruling the attacking players can't dive on the ball, which is what happened there. I noticed you mentioned the Quirk name there. That's quite a famous Saints name too. Tony Quirk, former Dragons player. So I wonder if they're any relation.
So Homebush now in control, 6-2. And there's the final siren. And how Sivasaran Surya Kumar that finishes with it. And the 2018 Men's Opens New South Wales champions are Homebush.
That was